What we do here matters, because what we don't do matters even more.
We need to continue to push, and we at ADAO are going to continue to push the Surgeon General of the United States.
As you know, the United States continues to use asbestos, and that indeed is a barrier to others stopping its use.
The most horrific part of this whole story is that it is preventable.
So for those of you who are new to our conferences, I wanted to introduce ADAO to you. For the last 9 years, the Larkin and Reinstein family, who met because of illnesses in our family, started and founded ADAO in hopes that we could prevent other families from the same pain and torture and grief that we went through. So for the last 9 years, we've been dedicated to education, advocacy, and community. We are an independent nonprofit. We don't represent outside industry, law firms, or the medical community. We speak solely the truth, and that has earned us the right and honor to testify in front of Congress as an independent and credible source. So let's start here. It's time to get social. The great thing about today is our friends in the UK, we could all wave at them, Mavis and Debbie and all, are watching us thanks to technology via Ustream. So it's a pretty big deal that we can give a shout out to our UK friends and Australia and even in the US. So for those who like to tweet and use social media, pull out your phones, get comfortable, tweet away, post, share pictures. I think that makes it really fun for everyone else who can't be in this room due to geographical or health issues. We come together because we know that we can make change happen. And as you see this list, there are 7 countries represented in this room today. Everyone feels the same. We want to end this public health crisis, and we do know that we can. We're very thankful to Senator Max Baucus. For the 9th year, the Senate has unanimously passed our resolution. And why is this important? Not only do these heart-wrenching facts go into the congressional record, but it gives ADAO and others the opportunity to use April 1st through the 7th as Global Asbestos Awareness Week. It's an opportunity to thank those who help you, to raise awareness on the facts, but most importantly, build community and show that we are strong. Well, as I mentioned, we're back in DC, and this photo is quite special. There are about 8 people in this picture from 2005 here today. We first started, Doug and I, when we had actually our conference was a press conference in DC, not an academic conference. And as a result of that, we kept up the momentum thanks to Mount Sinai and many others. We've been able to take educational conferences to a new city for the past 9 years. In the front row, you'll see Julie, Joey, and Emily, and others. And now, 9 years later, our children are either in college or looking at colleges, but we all stand together. ADAO builds our work on collaborative relationships. There is no single organization that can and should take responsibility for banning asbestos. It is through collective activism that we can make this happen. Because education is a critical component to ADAO, we work very closely with those who train, who teach, who do the work in the fields, so that we can indeed prevent consumer, environmental, and occupational exposure. You'll hear from 2 of our partners in just a few minutes. The Environmental Information Association and IATP from the UK will also have a welcome message. Jordan's going to be performing tonight around 7 o'clock. He's practicing, rehearsing right now. But he's been a phenomenal national spokesperson, and I look forward to all of you meeting him tonight. This conference does cost money. For those of you who access our website, you'll see that we put every conference presentation from 2006 online so that institutions, universities, and others can access our educational information literally around the world. That does take money. And this year, we are really pleased and honored that our platinum sponsors, Baron & Bud, Motley Rice, and Simmons, feel the same. They, at the highest tier, have contributed to the success of this conference, and we thank them. But it's not just our 3 platinum. We want to acknowledge our silver sponsors as well. Early Licarelli, Sweetie, oh, I can't read it. Oh, I feel badly, I can't read it. Strauss, thank you. Our silver sponsor, and we're delighted. They've always been a part of here. And also Rick Nimroff's law firm and the Insulator Union made a lovely contribution to our conference and are in support of our work. During this weekend, you'll see some of our dining events hosted by the Platinum firms. And again, you'll see tent cards. And I encourage you to thank all 5 sponsors for being graciously donating to our conference. A little gratitude goes a long way, and these firms do it for the right reason. We do not make any referrals, but they recognize that our work is important, and they continue to make donations so we can travel around. This conference doesn't happen without the speakers that are in this room. And I think if you added up how many years some of these professionals and experts have been doing their work, it would probably exceed 500 years. 500 years. These people have remained committed to public health and education and advocacy and community, which is beyond impressive. So our list of speakers is obviously there. ADAO doesn't have the funds to pay for honorariums. Our speakers actually pay for their own flights and hotels. So there's no money that's exchanged, but a very big gratitude from ADAO. We have a special treat for you. Dr. Aubrey Miller, yeah, that's him in the front row. Dr. Miller will be presenting the keynote address today at about, I think, 11 o'clock. I encourage you to look at Dr. Miller's keynote page in your program to learn more about this amazing man and to really understand why he's here today. He actually works in the government. It is very hard to have government officials often present at conferences because of conflict of interest. But Aubrey's reputation is so rock solid in the work that he does and ours that we're able to have Aubrey today bring you special messages. Our honorees are terrific, and you're going to see awards presented tonight at dinner. But we do have Lois Capps, Celeste, Karen Batten, the Insulator Union, Robbie Cagle's memory, and of course Mavis Nye. Mavis, that's you in the UK. She's watching live stream. So we have great annual awards that will be presented, and then we also have special recognition awards to Jordan, Herman, the Ray family, and of course our 5 sponsors. Tonight's dinner is an RSVP, so if you haven't registered and you would like to buy a ticket, they are $100, and I know Dominique out at the desk can assist you. It's going to be a great evening. On Sunday, we gather again for another signature event. We will join for brunch as we honor and remember those we have maybe lost or those who are fighting. It's not singing the blues. It's coming together as one in the spirit of unity and hope to regain our courage to continue our work. This is quite special this weekend. Thanks to the generosity of all of you who enabled us to print, we now have the first collection of shared stories, how asbestos impacted our lives. These will be given out to the families, one per family, tomorrow. And I know those online are going to be emailing me straight away, how do I get mine? But I'm going to leave one at the table because I think for those of you who may not be coming to brunch, you're going to want to see what's in this book. Mike Bradley is 28 years old. He's at NIH right now, working on hoping a clinical trial will indeed cure his cancer. He has peritoneal mesothelioma. He didn't work around asbestos. He got it from take-home exposure. He's had a colostomy. He is in pain, and he's fighting for his life. We need to end exposure to eliminate disease. So for Michael Bradley and all of the Michael Bradleys, I encourage you to read some of these stories and feel the strength of our community. Karen Batten is going to bless us with a keynote tomorrow. She is a world-renowned activist and widow of Bernie Batten, and it will be a treat. This conference is not put on by a paid conference committee. It is myself and a part-time fabulous intern, Dominique, and I, with many volunteers here that make this happen. So if there's a typo in the program, like dear Brad Black, we stripped off his medical credentials in the agenda. Sorry, Brad. Accidents happen, but I want you to think about this, that a small organization puts on an international conference for the 9th year with no outside monies that are dedicated. Our monies are spent on education, advocacy, and community. Well, this is quite a powerful last slide. Justice has no timeline. This is thanks to Ann Samuelson. Last year, she had a graphic artist create this graphic for us, which Deborah Farnsworth, who's probably watching on live stream, purchased. Those simple 4 words mean the world to all of us. Justice has no timeline. We have a selected few of these prints available for purchase, but we'll discuss that far in the afternoon. We have to do a little bit of housekeeping to make sure that our conference runs smoothly and timely. We will have 4 Q&A sessions. They are 10 minutes. So I urge you, if you have a question, to succinctly ask it, and then ask one only, so others may have a chance to indeed ask theirs. Please refer to your beautiful program for speaker bios. We do not do individual introductions for our speakers in order for us to save a little bit more time during our conference. We're videotaping, obviously, so if you'll please silence your phone. I always have to check mine one more time. And make sure that you use this one side door to eliminate noise. We would be quite grateful about that. Lunch is from 11:20 to 12:20. So as you want to sit around and chat, do what Doug and I do in Washington, D.C., we do a walk and talk and go down the 2nd floor to the Skyview Terrace. And dinner, again, begins at 6:30 tonight, so at 5:30 on time, we'll ask you to take your conversations to the downstairs bar, change your clothes, and rejoin us. I would like all of our sponsors to please stand. I'd like the platinum sponsors to please stand first, all 3 firms simultaneously, and give them a round of applause. I would like our silver and bronze sponsors to also please stand and give them applause. And our committee of dedicated, intelligent, strategic thinking people who made this conference possible. So I will ask all committee and ADAO volunteers and leadership to please stand. Members of the Science Advisory Board, Dr. Black, and our working committee, and everyone that's helped to put this conference on. Please stand so we can say thank you. Richard? So, as we say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. Doctors Frank and Lemon will have their opening welcome messages, followed by Brent and Christine for a few minutes. We're looking at the time now. It's about 7 minutes before 9, so we will have short opening messages, and then we will proceed with the conference. Most importantly, I'm accessible. If you have comments, problems, or concerns, please reach me personally, or Suzanne, most importantly, can answer any question, and Doug Larkin for media questions. Without further ado, I'll introduce them, and I want you just to, Julie, stand up for 1 second. To our presenters, I'll ask that you be mindful of the time that's listed in your agenda. Everybody has been emailed multiple times. We know what this is. When you see green, this is a caution. This means to start to wrap it up or talk a little faster. When you get to pink, this means you're done. And then when Julie flashes next speaker, we ask that you really wrap it up within 10 seconds because we will be coming up to ask you to sit down. We have such tight time here. And if you speak longer than other presenters, you'll be taking someone else's time. So if you'll graciously acknowledge our rules here and hoping to have an efficient conference, thank you. Dr. Frank, it's all yours.
Thank you, Linda. As someone who spends a lot of time at a lot of meetings and does a lot of travel, one of my highlights every year is coming to this meeting. This is a very special meeting. It pulls together activists, scientists, interested people, people who care about a subject that some of us have spent literally a lifetime working and studying about. And so I just want to say thank you for the privilege of being able to serve ADAO. I serve with Dr. Lemon as co-chair of the Scientific Advisory Board. It's a true honor to be able to do that, lend whatever insights we have. And I just want to greet all of you, and I know we're going to have a fabulous day, and it's really special that this kind of meeting with the diversity that we have in this room and that we'll be interacting with and sharing all day over is what's going to leave us in a much better place after this weekend than before. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Richard Lemon, and I co-chair the Science Advisory Board with Arthur. And I'm an epidemiologist, so I like numbers. And I want you to think, while we're here at this conference, that at least 8 times the number of people in this room today will die of an asbestos-related disease. And that's a very sobering thought. But that still occurs, and it's continuing to occur around the world. So we're here because we're talking about individuals, humans, people. And that's what this conference is about people. Again, every hour while we're sitting here, 12 people are going to die of an asbestos-related disease. Every one of these diseases can be prevented. There's no reason that we continue to have asbestos-related diseases. It's a preventable disease. We've known how to prevent this disease process for over 100 years. And yet we still sell asbestos. We still allow it to be used in the United States. Most people think it's been banned. It's not. And the rest of the world is still using it. So as an epidemiologist, I'll leave you with these sobering numbers to think that we're talking about individuals, people, just like you. And if we had a room that had 890 some people in it, and think that over the next 3 days, those 890 some people would cease to live on the earth. That's a sobering thought. That's what we're here to talk about. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Brent Kynock. I'm the Managing Director of the Environmental Information Association, and I want to thank all of you for being here, and I want to thank those of you that are joining us through the live streaming. Good morning, Mavis. Good morning, Deborah, among others. The Environmental Information Association is a group of professionals whose mission is to collect, generate, and disseminate information about environmental issues and concerns in buildings and facilities. We're a multidisciplinary membership organization made up of all sorts of professionals who are involved primarily in the remediation side of the asbestos industry. There are a number of Environmental Information Association members here this morning, and I would ask all of my colleagues and like-minded professionals please to stand that are members of the Environmental Information Association. Thank you very much. We have been honored and delighted to partner with ADAO for the last 6 years in their conference and in their work here in Washington, D.C., and everywhere they do their work. We've been able to provide technical guidance and insight as ADAO seeks to further their mission, and we hope to continue that as well. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Christine Winter. I'm from the UK and represent the independent asbestos training providers. And on this trip, we're so proud to be here. We've brought our Customer Relations Director, Wayne Williams. Please stand, Wayne. Anything technical, please throw it at him. We're looking forward to sharing all your experiences and learning, and hopefully you may learn a little bit from us too. So here's to a great day. Thanks for coming.
We don't have formal conference minders, so I'll ask that the speakers in the first session take a look at what the order is. I know that Richard and Arthur are sort of next to me, But check the order and then come up, and I'll ask Brent and Christine to take their seats so the other first session presenters can start to come up. So I think I've met most of you, but for those who I haven't personally had the opportunity to introduce myself to, I am Linda Reinstein. I am not a doctor, an attorney, or a lobbyist. I'm a mesothelioma widow.